All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the second match of the semifinals. Well, actually, it's the third one, but I digress. This is the second pairing of the semifinals, I guess. Welcome to GFE versus Gem. Uh, First match of the series in here. Commentating for you today, we have Clear Mouse and Korek. Tracking will be CJ and myself. And having said that, I will give it up to our commentators.
Yo, thanks, Flojas. Yeah, it's Yo Korik. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. How about
Uh,
yourself?
no, I'm doing great. We've got the battle of three-letter names. And it's this is actually, I would say, not necessarily a classic bingo matchup, but GFE and Gem have been around for quite some time. I think they faced off in at least two different casual boost tournaments, like probably towards the end of like brackets or groups or whatever. Certainly no strangers to themselves. And guess what, Korik? It is tournament season. These guys already warmed up from all the like other five other tournaments that have been going on. So we're gonna just ease our way into this nice cozy Sunday by some really chill, totally not stressful whatsoever lockout bingo. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I hope these guys are.
Yeah.
Bingo can be very tough in that there's 25 things you need to keep track of. You'll get them knocked off, like half of them knocked off pretty early, so your mental energy gets a little bit more directed. But yeah, it's quite difficult to keep everything straight and to strategize as far as you know what where do you cut your losses, where do you beeline goals, where do you know give up get cede a goal to your opponent to try to get a leg up on a different one. Like, it's a very interesting dynamic, and looks like we're getting off here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And right, it's just a part of like the tournament format. So runners get 1 minute, a whole 1 minute, to kind of look at the bingo board before the race actually starts. But I guess before the timer goes. And so you maybe get it like maybe this is a good time to brush up on your speed reading skills because you have, as you mentioned, 25 squares, and you really kind of want to see not only get a cursory glance of what goals there are, even just that's available to you, which ones you want to go after, and then maybe just a little bit more of a strategizing because depending so in lockout bingo, right, part of the reason why it is super very stressful actually is that if your opponent snipes the goal before you, then you cannot get that goal anymore, right? So you have to go find another one in order to go get. So if both people end up getting the same goal, or going after the same goal, it can certainly be quite the actual race, and a bit more stressful for the other person. You see, in this case, time especially is of the essence. Looks like GFE and Gem are both going for potentially the drop down. You actually even see that Gem only got like a fraction of the hula hand money because well, you got to get the drop downs, right? And there's no reason to probably get all the money if you don't end up needing it, right? Some people I think even maybe okay, looks like GFE is actually gonna go get secret passage. Is Jem just gonna leave? Yeah, see, Jem just gonna leave because time is of the essence, right? You need the drop down goal, and getting this extra chest, in this case, did not pay off for GFE, right? So now suddenly Jem is potentially gonna go get this goal first.
I don't even know if GFE got the fairy drop or if he just did the hula hand.
Oh, actually, that's a good point too.
Yeah,
Oh
so
yeah, that's
I don't know. He might have just done hula hand to have some money and was willing to cede it to Jen. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it looks like he's doing a more thorough opener here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Okay. You're right. You're right. So so in this case, maybe he has another. Right. So you're actually seeing in this case the drop down has already been marked by Gem because that's so that's square for I think it's Gem. He was the one who fell in for Overworld, right? And he's pink, I think. We will look into that. I'm pretty sure in this case I saw at the beginning Gem was pink and GFE was orange. But we can double check on that.
Yep. And I think we have a fix there on the
Okay, cool,
Easter egg.
cool. Thank you. Yeah, shout outs to certainly to Floha and CJ. Not only of course they're doing the tracking, they're also setting up all the restreams, technical the technical hurdles in order to get a restream here apparently on Twitch is actually quite high, so I really do appreciate them basically setting up all the stuff for us.
Yeah, we're seeing both GFE and Gem, they pick up a map because, well, we do have a map or compass goal on the board.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's probably a good opportunity to go look at all the different goals here. I do see the center square is probably, well, at least Gem's favorite, bring a fat koala or catfish. Because, if you actually ever watch Gem in any of these races, you know the catfish is probably the most frequented location. By most frequented, I mean absolutely the opposite. He probably will lose races. I don't necessarily know intentionally, but he will lose races because something is on catfish.
Have also the diet of catfish or aganim goal.
Ooh, all right. So this is gonna be actually pretty. This is gonna be pretty interesting. So okay, so right. So the item layout, or at least it is fad keys. For those of you who played previously for League, it is pretty much key sanity. All small keys, compasses, maps are all shuffled, with the exception, which is the F part, is the castle tower keys are always in castle tower. And so, if you want to rush Aghanim, you don't have to go find 2 Castle Tower small keys. If you have, 2 swords and a cape, lamp is optional. You can in fact go do Aghanim if that's going to be part of the goals that you're going to go search for.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. We have like some competing efficiencies for the goals here with Catfish and Aga. So we have defeat an Aghanim, we have die to Catfish or to Aghanim. So like you could like rush Aga but not die to him, and then like rush Catfish but not have your follower. I don't know. We'll see what these guys
Ooh, interesting.
doing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah, and in fact, there was a really fun matchup actually between Gem and S&T. I think in the previous rounds where so they both had a catfish follower goal, and S&T had the mitts. So he brought the smith to catfish, and Gem did not. So he brought the old man to catfish. And man, trying to die to catfish with trying to lug the smith around versus the old man, it is worlds of difference in terms of being able to quickly move off and on that screen. It was quite the spectacle to watch. Well, so in this case, see, what these guys ended up going to. It does seem maybe a bit more propensity to, at least just based on observational bias, is whoever gets Darkwold access first, whether it's the traditional kind, right, mitts, pearl, hammer, or maybe just even Aga. It certainly seems to have a very big advantage. Hopefully that's not going to be the case today. But it is something that's going to be definitely probably some priority for both Gem and GFE.
Yeah, there are a number of goals that require Dark World access. Some that basically only require Dark World access, or maybe one other item that you would likely have when you reach the Dark World. We do see like there hasn't been any real progression on the checks that are either GFE or Gem have done here. They've done most of Kakariko. Gem skipped a couple things along the way here that GFE has done, but yeah, I mean it's very interesting. Like we want to do the bingo goals, but we still need actual rando progression at some point.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think the term that I've heard before from other bingo players is you're routing very degenerately. Like you are just probably so GFE at least so far seems to be pretty thorough as you kind of observed earlier. Not necessarily skipping things when he's in the area. He does kind of like everything. Versus Gem. We didn't get secret passage, right? Because time is of the essence. So in this case, it did work out for Gem because there were only 10 arrows there. But if there were, let's say, like a sword in secret passage, well, okay, all right. Well, there's just gonna be one in the dam. It's fine too. But if there was something like a flute, let's say in secret passage, that would have been a huge thing for GFE. But it's just kind of one of those risks where you potentially, you're willing to take, in this particular case. And
I think
also cut.
GFE had already like seeded the one goal, so if Gem ends up doing like the front of escape, he might go back in and get that chest anyway, which would be a time loss. And now we see a flute here at Saha.
Yeah. So Saha is actually just like it definitely really paid off. We got actually a second sword, so early master sword for both Gem and GFE is super helpful. You are gonna have to kill a good amount of stuff probably, and just any amount of offense is going to help speed things up a bit. But also specifically for GFE, that flute is going to be really helpful for early mobility. Again, time is of the essence. You got to get to the goals first, and the flute will definitely help out.
Yeah, he'll be able to just flute right to the dam and get that sword with a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more efficiency. We do see a cape. Hmm.
Yeah, we you were right. So we are in theory supposed to wait for a lamp to show up somewhere, you know, for Aga. That being said, I don't know how cheeky GFE or Gem are feeling. Certainly against S&T in game 2. One of the things that Gem actually had decided to do was to rush Aga in the dark. Still didn't actually have the lamp by the time they finished the scene. But there were 3 goals that were related to Aga. So, you know, if you are capable of doing Dark Aga and you think that is the play to do, certainly could be, you know, quite the advantage if you can. In this
That
case,
bow in Ice Frog
that
Cave
is
makes
really gonna help
Aga
him.
a
Oh
lot
yeah,
better.
it's so good. Now, is there a Zora goal? Did you happen to see in this case?
I didn't see a Zora goal, but that doesn't mean there isn't one.
True. I do see a max capacity one, but okay. In this case, like, if assuming GFE maybe goes to South Shore, I can certainly see him maybe wanting to do Zora. Gem certainly does not have the option. He will, unless he picks up money like here from Waterfall. And even so, I don't actually necessarily know if he wants to do Zora. Like, Zora is actually quite a high time commitment. Well, it doesn't matter because Gems does not have a decision to make. But maybe in this case, GFE is interested in buying the Zora. And, you know, you did mention, right? While it is important to get all their bingo goals, we still need actual Dark World progression, right? So if Zora has, let's say, a glove, GFE is in a very, very good position to go get it.
Yeah. It doesn't look like Gem is rushing Aga yet. He will get his Master Sword and Flute here momentarily. And GFE is cleaning up some of the South Shore stuff, as you mentioned. Being able to use that flute to speed it up a little bit. Yeah, we'll see if he does the Zora check. I'd expect he would, but you know, you never know. Maybe he wants to save money for pod or something.
Yeah, that was right. That's also very. Yeah, well, right. I can. It's well, so right. Money for pod. Doesn't seem like we've gotten that. I mean, we did get the 300 from Chicken Hut. In terms of other money though, like there is a max out bomb or aerial capacity upgrade. So I have certainly seen people do that goal early, but just basically trying to like farm money to go do it because it is something that you can do. It is something still to keep in mind that, you know, there is a big spending goal. So if you want to maybe try and, you know, not either save scale in the 500 or just basically just not spend it at all, it's something that you can do. We are actually seeing Gem going into Eastern. It is certainly, you know, a very preferential dungeon in my opinion. Do not have the big key because this is key sanity, so Gem's not going to be able to at least get the big chest, but looks like we're actually going to take a quick peek as to what is inside.
I mean, very likely location for our lamp. It could also be on Death Mountain in Spec Rock Cave or something, but it is looking like the intended progression for Dark World is Aga, as it, you know, anyway. So, you know, all we need is a lamp, and obviously to do anything we need the pearl, but that could be on Pyramid for all we know.
Oh, true. Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a great. I forgot about the pearl. I was just all thinking about the lamp, and Aga. But you are absolutely correct, though. Like, so while we do have some Aga goals, in order to actually, once we defeat Aghanim, we would also need to go and, you know, do something in the Dark World. And without that Moon Pearl, well, which, you know, rightfully so, you have correctly observed that it still could be on Pyramid, in which case we just basically go. But typically speaking, at least, if you want to try and do Aga access, you would still at least try to, you know, you want the Pearl in hand or in your possession before you maybe make that commitment.
Yeah, I mean, given the bingo goals, though, you could certainly make the play for Aga without the Pearl. You know, typically in Rando, you would not be making the play for or anything like that, but in this particular situation, it makes a ton of sense to go that way. Looks like Gem might be cleaning up like bonk rocks here on his way to activate the flute, or not. Okay, no, he is. So these are like those little things that GFE did a little bit earlier that you know, Gem has to go back and backtrack for.
Right.
Or skip them. It's also
yeah. I've actually kind of lost track of like how many maps and compasses that we've taken so far. I think Gem was trying to. Maybe he was trying to think about saving Quiddy, but then realized that yes, he still needs the flute in this case. Yeah, but I was actually like based on the bonk rocks and like mini Molten Cave, I feel like we have actually probably a good amount of maps or compasses.
Yeah, I think this is getting close. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they have 4. It's at least 3, I know, but it could be 4.
Yeah, yeah. I couldn't actually remember how many we had in Kakariko as well. There was certainly like a good number. Okay, so it looks like GFE is gonna go do a quick, well, as quick as you're gonna get a Gina check. This is actually not gonna get any faster. That being said, it is only 1 check, and it's still. If you're worried about time, this is something that maybe you would like to not devote as much time to. But speaking of which, GFE also did Rescue the Old Man in the Dark. Jem, you can actually see that it is at least not the current priority.
Jem is trying to prioritize places where the lamp could be. So because he skipped the Vanilla Big Keith chest in Eastern. I mean, that's also a very long check, but I think in his mind he wants to get to a safe Aga as quickly as possible. And we do see that GFE got the hook shot, which opens up 8 more items. Could be a lamp, could just be glove and hammer and pearl. Like, even if the seed is telling us like, oh, it looks like Aga, it doesn't.
Yeah, well, speaking of Aga, looks like Jem is, well, he's at least gonna do he's gonna pull the tree, secret passage, maybe?
Yeah, and GFE getting that hook shot first gets to get this goal, and that's gonna give Jem information.
Oh, that's great. Oh, yeah, that's actually a really good point. Oh, right, because, the both runners can actually see, in this case, where, like, the progression of the bingo boards. The fact that GFE, you're absolutely right, like, marked off the hookshot cave one, he knows that the hookshot is somewhere in Light World, and so I guess from Jem's perspective, like, how many other checks are there? So it could be Front of Escape, could be a Vanilla Bicky Chest of Eastern, and so this looks like a Gina, or or maybe Desert, right? If there was a book outstanding somewhere.
Sure,
but that is certainly very, very interesting. It's very another thing to add on to the stress, right, and the tension of Lockout Bingo.
Absolutely.
Alright, but keep in mind, yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, yes, it's just keep in mind though, this is still, that is the lamp locked behind the hookshot in Paradox. This is a best of 3 series for what it's worth, so it is. So even if one person, certainly bingo races have gone quite lopsided before. So even if something like that does happen, neither GFE nor Jem are out of the tournament. They still have, in this case, up to 2 more games to play.
So I'm a little bit surprised maybe that, I mean, GFE has been much more oh, he's going for the dead rock. That makes a lot more sense. I almost expected him to just same quit after getting the lamb, just to rush it, like not come out. But since it let him get the dead rock goal, it kind of makes sense to check Spiral Cave while he's here.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. And this is, for what it's worth, right? I think you have the bingo board visible to you at all times, and so even if you don't catch the goal early, you can still kind of keep looking at the board to make sure. In this case, what else? Oh my god! Oh dude! Oh wow! Yeah, we get a hammer in Spiral Cave, which is pretty big, but also we have a fire rod in Zelda Cell. Is Jem just gonna do Aga?
Jem is gonna do Dark Aga, and GFE's gonna do not Dark Aga.
Oh my gosh, this is wow! What, dude? What? This is gonna be amazing. So I was certainly, my prediction that GFE still get out faster just because he has the lamp. But I mean, Jem's Dark Aga has actually been very, very impressive.
Yeah, it depends on how Jem feels about Dark Aga. So like, if he knows the rooms where he doesn't have to light anything, he could use the fire rod shots on like the ball and chains and pick up some time.
Ooh.
It looks like GFE's planning to do the Front of Escape. So this is actually like, it's definitely a bit of a misstep in my opinion, where he's trying to be more thorough and he's going to miss out. Now, I guess the caveat here is that Jem can only do one of 2 goals. There's 2 Aga goals. So you could say, you know what? Even if my opponent is beating me there, I still get the other goal. Like, it does mean that you have to basically redo the dungeon, which is not great.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So, right, and we're still short of Pearl, right? So we can't really do anything in Dark. Of course, you mentioned the Pearls on Pyramid. We haven't actually really. I think we're kind of running out of locations too, right? Where the Pearl can be. Vanilla Bicky Chest of Eastern, which is now in Logic because GFE has the lamp. But then, like, is Pyramid in? Hera. Right. What a terrible location for that hammer. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, that's awful. All right, well we're getting a testament here from Jem. We have, actually, does he even have a fire rod shot available to him?
I don't think he does anymore. Well, this is definitely a tough situation. I think he's making it though.
He, like I said, he was able to do this against S&T. He just rushed Aga. He didn't have he didn't even have Fire Rod. I think he had Bombos. He had Kane of Samaria, and he made it through. Are we out of the? We are almost out of the woods. So this is probably, I think.
Room.
Yeah, right. This looks like it's gonna be the hardest room. Oh, he
Oh,
had
yeah.
one Fire Rod shot. Wow.
So he should be fine. I mean, he's at 2 hearts, so it's not like he should be fine. But things can happen.
You're right. You're right. So it kind of does look like though it's gonna be Aga Dark World Access, based on just like we.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be a good thing that Gem's going to be pretty low on locations when he does go to the mountain, because like I could see him being like let's skip Spiral Cave type of a thing, but
surely he has never skipped Spiral Cave and has like burnt him. Certainly not in a inverted Christmas size or whatever mode it is.
Like if the Pearl is on the pyramid rather than Hera, I am still worried that Gem might.
That's true.
Yeah,
but well, if he has the Pearl in his deck and it's Gem can't even do Aga Hall of Fame here. You can't even get any distance. GFE though is gonna have this opportunity because he has the hook shot.
Yeah, you know, that hook shot comes in handy in all sorts of ways. Sometimes you get to brag a little bit.
That's right.
And sometimes you just have to hold your head in shame.
Alright, well it looks like at least Gem, while I do think that GFE still probably do have a little bit faster dark rooms, because he's already made it, pretty high up here to Aga, Gem is, at least having a head start on defeating Aghanim, so most likely he is going to be able to mark off this goal first. Worst case, I guess, you at least get to mark off the die to Aga if some giant mishap happens here. So you will get the bingo square, but from at least from what I've seen, what we've seen here in confirmation, we have to actually go defeat Aga. So probably just better to go die to Catfish if you can, and defeat Aga to get to Dark World.
And in GFE's case, like I think you have to. It is only one goal, so you have to weigh the cost versus the reward. Gem's not even checking pyramid available. But,
okay, that makes sense.
At the same time,
that's a good distance, by the way. For
Pearl on the pyramid is such a huge possibility right now. Well, we'll see from GFE's side. Maybe. So what I was saying is, it's a huge decision to make as to whether or not you get the death goal, because you're basically adding like a 3-minute head start to your opponent just to secure one square.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, right? And sometimes, well, I guess maybe in theory you can die to Aghanim at any point. I don't know. It's just another one of those things where you want to prioritize, right? Because you want to try, where is your early time or mid game, I guess, time investment going to go for? Gem actually, I don't know if it's characteristic or not, but he is checking Lumberjack. He has been screwed over by Hammer there before, so probably in this case, a good idea at least is to scout it. Okay, but we are going to go into Agina. I think Eastern Big Key Chest is probably just...
this is the only logic check, I think.
For true.
He knows that the hookshot's here, or at least the hookshot's.
I guess maybe the lamp could be here too, right? The lamp could be here and then Eastern Big Key Chest is...
Given the timing of when GFE got that goal, I don't think that timing makes sense.
Okay.
From Gem's perspective. And there is a pearl.
There is a pearl.
Going to delay Gem. But I mean, he will do Hera almost certainly, and if something important's in Hera, I don't know. It's very
no, that's actually very interesting, right? Because he thinks that in this case, the pearl can very well just be here, right? And so it looks like then GFE needs to do the hammer. But this is actually going to be kind of interesting also for knowledge for Gem as well, potentially.
We can do Hype Cave instead.
Oh, yes. Well, but he can die to Catfish, right?
He does not have the glove. Oh, so now
he does not have a glove. Excellent point.
There's bombs in the cracked floor, so I guess that...
Oh, okay, that does make sense, yeah.
So I fully expect Gem to go to Hera after Spiral Cave because the only things he has left is Vanellope Key and Eastern Pyramid and Hera.
Mm-hmm. And I guess maybe in this case, Gem just, assuming he doesn't die here in Paradox Cave, he might have just resigned himself in this case to not get the cracked floor, because like in theory, like he could have actually just checked Pyramid, right? And it really looked like he wanted to just kind of like beeline, or at least try to snuff out the hook shot or something that, you know, basically led.
I mean,
GFE.
statistically, yeah. I mean, statistically, you know, the hookshot's available. There's 8 items behind the hookshot. Like, Pearl was most likely behind the hookshot from Gem's perspective. So I don't know if it was like seeding the goal as much as I want to get the Pearl as fast as possible, but it's just like you're playing the odds, and sometimes it doesn't work out.
So do you think it's
Yeah.
right? So okay, so do you think it's like an advantage then, or a good disadvantage for Gem to like not get the Pyramid, or to not get the Pearl off the Pyramid? Like it would delay him certainly to the hook shot, right? Maybe.
Well, he would have absolutely gotten the cracked floor goal, right?
True.
And
Yeah.
basically, he'd be doing exactly the same thing that GFE is doing, and he'd just have to do this next, whereas GFE can do Hype Cave next or whatever. So I think it's definitely a disadvantage. Gem was making the play thinking it would be an advantage to, you know, get that hook shot, get the items on East Step Mountain, etc. But I think it's just turning out the opposite way. But Hera could be the game changer because GFE is not coming to Hera anytime soon.
Yeah, that's also true. And I guess, and as you pointed out, we are still kind of lacking a very important piece of regular Dark World access, right? We don't have either glove, Power Glove, nor mitts. So if it is actually just here, right, then, you know, that's actually going to be pretty good for Gem. You know, because as you mentioned, nice big key to pod in shooter room. You know, GFE is definitely not going to come here. Maybe debate if he finds the mirror at some point. But you know, if something is here, that's going to be a pretty good tip in Gem's favor.
From Gem's perspective, but I wonder what GFE is thinking, because he knows that Gem beat Aga first. He knows the Pearl is on the Pyramid, but he also got the cracked floor goal. So it's kind of like, what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
It's like how was I like 2 minutes behind on Aga, but I got the cracked floor goal.
True. I also like to point out, by the way, that Gem also got the 5 maps or compasses goal, and it was the compass to I think Swamp. I think the Swamp.
Yeah, and you got the big key too, so that is quite, you know, potentially useful. Now, Thieves does take a while to do, right? So compared to like maybe beelining a different goal or something.
Right. Yeah, actually speaking of those, so there are some other goals. So we actually do see 6 big chests. Maybe debatable as to whether or not they want to actually for example, you know, in This Is Bingo, we don't actually have to go beat the cannon. We don't have to go collect crystals or pendants. I think something like that. If they want to go steal the attic key from Thieves Town, they can open a big chest. If they don't want to go finish the dungeon.
Sure.
I mean, you know, it could be still part of the bingo goal fulfillment. It's just a very interesting way to play the game, you know.
No, that's a great point. I don't think they have the Eastern big key. So I think if they had the Eastern big key, Gem might go back to Eastern, but now he's just gonna go to the Pyramid and find his Pearl.
Yeah, that's true. Back to Pink Bunny. Nice chest turn on
GFE.
Ooh, wow. It looks like Skullwoods here is paying off for GFE, and he hasn't been into Eastern at all. So, now granted, he does not have the big key to Thieves Town, because it's in Hera, but it is going to be another potential location for, you know, with the bow, with the big key, you know. Some people would consider Eastern Palace to be difficult in these key sanity situations. GFE's going to die. Oh, this is intentional. Okay, he just wants out.
Gem doing the south route to Hype Cave, so we get some new information over here.
Yeah, because it looks like, you know, so Gem has seen that GFE had bombed the crack floor, and yes, one of the earliest, you know, things to go get the crack floor for is in pod. So Alright, he probably thinks in this case if I go to pod now, I might just be chasing GFE. So let's just go somewhere else. GFE is showing us why this is not the easiest room in the game, unfortunately. We do actually have our first bottle here in Hype Cave.
Yeah, there's at least one goal related to bottles.
Yeah, I just what is a drink? A potion in the tavern. That actually might be somewhere that you just go, right? Just go to the tavern now.
That will be the first.
He
place
needs
I'm gonna
He
see.
needs to spam some magic, and then we can get another goal. So yeah, suddenly it kind of seems like things are evening up.
Yeah,
quite a
you gotta
bit.
use magic, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
There we
He's
go.
trying.
Okay, so GFE. Looks like he's beating the dungeon.
Very interesting. Okay. Or at least he's gonna get. Okay, he'll get blue mail. Okay, so that is, by the way, a contribution to a potential goal for the one of the bingo squares. It is 11 hearts or blue mail. Or sorry, red mail. Sorry, blue mail for Gino is red cape for some reason. But he does need the actual red mail. But it is going to be another contribution, or 11 hearts in this case, right? So yeah, you actually probably see in this case, Gem and GFE both picking up heart pieces, just because you don't really know when you're gonna get like that 11th heart, right? And get more heart containers and safeties, and these little things add up.
So what do we have for dungeon completion? We have
So I do
3
see,
crystals.
right? I see pulped or open GT big chest. So that would be talk about in this case completing dungeons. I don't know. I mean, Eastern is actually looking pretty good for a GFE, right? Because that is a fully completable dungeon for him.
Like, as far as like, let's call them attainable squares.
Oh, obtainable. Okay, fair.
So
yes.
like, there's the 3 crystals, and we see that Skulls is a crystal. So I think that's probably what he's thinking with just finishing the dungeon while he's here.
Mm-hmm.
See a desert skull. Can't do anything with it yet, but it's always nice and fun.
All right, Korek. You are in Jum's position. You have the Thief's Down big key. You have no Thief's Down small key. There is a goal for opening 6 big chests. Would you just go beat Thief's Down?
Would do what you said earlier and steal the key. GFE gets a glove though. That is pretty good.
Well, that is on Mothula. Yes, that is wow. The Dark World progression locations here are pretty wild.
So I think
Hammers
it's
and
all
Spiral Cave.
Hidden caves. Yeah, there's hidden caves. So GFE can work on that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what he's going to be doing. Potentially.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, right. And then, do we have anything else? Oh, I guess GFE doesn't have. Okay, I guess it looks like he's gonna go to Hype Cave. At least maybe get his first bottle. Interestingly enough, I don't know if he wants to try and maybe make a stop to Waterfall Ferry. Because I actually do see a golden bee to the bottle vendor. We don't know the prizes for the Waterfall Ferry, but it could also be something interesting. We're getting 1 million compasses here in Thieves Town. None of the ones we actually care about, because Gem's already got the gold, but also it doesn't seem very fruitful.
No, you're right. You can certainly take a gamble. You have a small chance that you'll get the bee you need. I get like what, 1 in 7. So, it's not likely, but I mean, most of the runner-up prizes is a different potion. It's not too bad. So, Gem is at least going towards the back.
Yeah. Oh, he has a small key? When did he pick up the small key? Okay, well, never mind. No more decisions. We're just gonna full clear this entire dungeon. We're gonna actually go get the big key as well. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, so they both have 1 crystal right now. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, so GFE was trying to answer a fake flipper, I think, but needed to bail.
Yeah, it looks like not enough. Well, it wasn't enough ammunition, or maybe he just wasn't comfortable, I guess, with that specific setup.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what happened, but he did decide to bail. I'm not sure where we're going now. Maybe getting this rock over here. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that makes sense because he's chasing the glove gold. I was actually even thinking about this a little bit earlier, right? So right now, because GFE has rescued the old man, he can't actually bring that old man right to Catfish after the glove. There's actually maybe one potential reason to actually not do old man, right?
I mean, that
If he
certainly
wants to.
could be, yeah.
Because I'm
All
trying
the
to think
other
of other
followers
followers.
require
Mitts,
mitts
right?
or crystals 5 and 6, right? Does that count for bingo?
Yeah, actually, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, it absolutely counts because it the bomb follows you. That is
Yeah.
correct.
But I mean, those are heavily gated, whereas the old man is like very lightly gated. So
You're right.
this would be
Yeah.
different.
Man, I didn't even think about that. Like here, I really actually just thought like, oh, well, no one wants to actually go rescue the old man because like it takes forever and it's like it's only for one check. In terms of efficiency, it's actually kind of bad. But then I completely forgot about the follower goal. Ooh. Well, speaking of, we've got the Desert Palace big key and the Desert Palace small key. Looking pretty good. As long as we get some sort of desert access, that would be spectacular.
Here on that rock lifting goal, we already see a lock lit up on the bingo board. So now he could also go die to Catfish.
True. Yeah, you mentioned in this case you want to maybe try and be more efficient, but in this case, if you can't be efficient, you at least get one square out of it, right? So, and maybe just have, in this case, just say that that's going to be one square that you either not do the seed or you just give, or you do it, as a kind of like a last resort.
I think that's the direction he's headed in. It'll be interesting to see if these count as a crystals, because that could definitely increase the chances that Gem would go to do Skullwoods if it is a crystal.
Oh yeah, that's true. And he knows that, Skullwoods is a crystal as well, because I think he did a map check, and he must have picked up the map because I definitely saw a crystal up there. Oh, well, that is crystal number 2 for Gem then. Looks like we are actually going to go and, I mean, Skullwoods is certainly going to be, as you mentioned before, a very, very logical next step for Gem. He can get the 3 crystals goal, and he's going to, assuming he doesn't beat Mothula, he is going to be able to get his glove, and he is going to, in this case, be able to see, maybe now understand basically, where GFE, has been or was. GFE is actually taking very care to make sure that he does not die before he comes back into the screen. Oh, fun fact, by the way, if Catfish does fire a shield, a fireball at you, turn away from him. GFE literally just picked up the fire shield from Catfish, and if you reflect the fireball, you see him actually facing right, you will actually deflect the fireball. So good on GFE to actually remember this.
So we are all tied up at 5 to 5. Gem is closing in, going directly for Mothula to get that 3 crystal goal. When he kills Mothula, he will get his glove. So he'll have that piece of the puzzle. He'll know where GFE got his glove. Well, he'll presume that that's where GFE got his glove. You could always convince yourself that maybe it's somewhere else, but I think it's fairly likely. Gem will understand. GFE, meanwhile, is also going for a dungeon. This would be
having
what, second crystal?
This will be a second crystal, yeah. Yes, CJ and Inflo have been doing a great job on tracking, basically keep everything up to date. So yeah, so it looks like I'm at least looking for the tracker. It looks like it's crystal number 2 or dungeon number 2, sorry.
So as long as Gem has a nice clean Skullwoods, 3 crystals should be his to lose at this point.
Yeah, and it looks like, yeah, as you mentioned, he's gonna basically rush Mothula. He's gonna do the bridge chest. That is where GFE got his blue mail, which is again another step to the 11 hearts or red mail goal.
Yeah, I mean he can always come right back in after he finishes.
True. Yeah.
It's not a huge deal.
Yeah, we actually just see, of course, that, so, right, GFE having never been in Eastern so far, with the big key and the bow, he is going to be able to fully clear this place out, and of course, Gem actually only did the first 3 chests, so, we actually don't know, in this case, what Mila Big Key chest has for us. And I'm kind of curious to see if GFE will actually be willing to check this, because as you mentioned before, it is actually a very long check.
Gem picking up his glove. his 6th goal. Gem's also at 9 hearts, so it seems more likely that they would get 11 total hearts before the red mail. But you never know. I mean, you only
Yeah,
need one
you're
thing
right.
for the red mail, but it's just 1 of 1 versus
That's true. Yep.
all the different hearts that are around.
Yeah, no, that's definitely very, very true. I believe the extra heart container, at least I saw one extra heart container in the front of Thieves Town. So that is at least accounts for some amount of difference. Now, like whether or not they got different like heart pieces versus something else, quite unclear. Speaking of though, also I think Dice GFE was a bit closer to the open for small key doors in Skull Woods because he bought the Skull Woods small off of Zora. So that is at least going to be something that he has over Gem, because I don't know the last time he's going to be going into Zora at this point. Actually, very interesting. So there was a Compass of Skull Woods in the middle of Bikini chest. So I think actually, Gem, if he actually visited there, he would have actually gotten there a bit faster. Oh, there's the mirror in the back of Escape.
It is a good find. I mean, it doesn't open a ton quite yet, but it does make things slightly more efficient. You can check K45 after you do Stumpy or something like that.
Guess who's bringing a follower to Catfish? So Gem has plenty of experience with this, let me tell you. It's actually really hilarious. It was, so at least with the match between himself and S&T, it was surprisingly close because they both tried to get a follower to Catfish about the same time. And S&T having the mitts and having, the Smith, he was just, he was dashing from Village Valcast for the North Dark World, running all the way over there. I think he was trying to do current jump or something, I don't remember, what it was. And Gem, doing basically exactly what you're seeing him do now, right? I think it was an Agaseed or something. He was walking the old man from the pyramid portal all the way over to Catfish. Oh, it was achingly slow to watch him do this. And even more tense because, there was a race going on.
Making it. It's fine. Going for a nice little walk.
Yeah, it's a nice afternoon stroll. Okay, so GFE ended up getting defeating Armos. Did you happen to catch if that was a pendant or crystal? I think it was a crystal.
I did not.
Okay.
Too busy watching these old man shenanigans.
Yeah. Hey, it's actually very riveting content, In this case, Gem does not have to die to Catfish because GFE's already claimed that goal, but he certainly has very high incentive at least to deliver the old man, intact. Now, I guess in this case,
play on the bottle here.
Ooh, oh yeah, very interesting. And yeah, that's right. GFE has not been to Brewery in Village Valcast. That's where Gem ended up getting the flippers. So if this is, so this in this case is gonna be a good B. It's gonna be one great square for GFE. It is a good B. Oh my gosh, dude! What? Well, he hasn't actually brought it over to the bottle vendor yet, right?
He's gonna. I mean,
okay, maybe we're on slightly delayed. Yeah.
Doesn't take that.
Yeah, that's true.
So he's all good. All right. So I think it's still 7-6 Gem, but that gets it a little bit closer here.
That was a really great play on GFE side to actually be able to think that, and then and he took a chance to try and get a gold B without the bug net, and it definitely worked. So definitely kudos to GFE for thinking about that. Yeah, but speaking of those, so like going to Village Valcast, maybe this is what he's gonna do now. I don't know if he has any other options. He does not have the big key to Thieves Town, because we did see that was in Hera, reminding himself that he does in fact not have the mitts. It is gonna be very interesting.
So he doesn't have that mirror.
Right, yeah, because Gem got in the back of Escape with the glove, and I don't know if back of Escape is too slow for him, if he has other options for him to do. I mean, he certainly, like, when he got the glove, he was really rushing those hidden rock goals, right? Which is very understandable because he thought, if he's gonna have the glove, the glove advantage, he needs to press it.
Yeah, I think this is more bingo brain drain, where, like, after glove in normal rando, you just, kind of instinctively make back of Escape one of your first checks, but you have so much more to do after the gloves here. So he just Whereas I guess since he did all the glove stuff, the gem like was able to revert to that. Oh, let's do the active escape.
Yeah, okay, that's actually a great point. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's actually I don't know if this is considered like more. Oh, Jem needs to live first. Oh my god.
And what we doing, dude?
Everything's fine. Yeah. Oh, but you actually bring up a good point too, right? Because right, so in this case, like once you see somebody, like your opponent, in this case, mark off a bingo square, I mean, you're always not gonna go do that thing anymore. But it also kind of frees up like another, it eliminates part of the solution space or like the decision space for you to make, right? So maybe Jem was thinking, well, should I go after this or this one? But if one of them is eliminated, you've only got maybe one option left for you.
I'm not entirely sure how many pod keys Gem has, but it is certainly, even with just a couple, it's one of the most item dense things that's left as far as progression goes. So, even if it's not like perfect with any of the goals, this is more just regular rando. Let's try to get some progression and open some stuff up for us.
So do you happen to know in this case if he has the big key to pod? There was a big key in the Thieves' Town big chest, and I'm trying to remember what big key that was.
That's a great question.
We're gonna find out if he goes to the big chest because as you mentioned. So how many? Okay, we have 2 small keys. Oh no, the pod big key is literally here in pod. That's right. We found a shooter room.
So
I forgot. Oh
yeah. This is more the fun bingo routing. Gem has full clear Thieves' Town, but he didn't do brewery, and lo and behold, the flippers are just sitting there in the brewery.
Yeah, so actually with this though, will Jem actually beat the dungeon with 2 keys? He has opened the front door. He is I would imagine he is going to go get the big chest though. But I guess if he does that, then he can't beat the dungeon. Unless, of course, Pod, being Pod, in Key Sandy is gonna have a small key to this dungeon here, so maybe.
I don't see any goals that would be like, hey, let's do this. I think he'd rather open the big chest while he's here this time and hope that he never has to like go to GT for a goal or something.
Yeah, good point.
So
by the way,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so GFE actually looks like he's gonna do back of escape. He also found the Swamp Small on Stumpy, with the flippers and with the mirror that he's gonna get right now. Looks like Swamp's pretty juicy here in terms of next dungeon to go clear. Yeah, that's right. Easy miss location, sword location. You are absolutely correct. I mean, while this is not avian art, the memes can still be quite strong in this case. Ooh, all right, that's 10 hearts for Jem.
Yeah, that's great. We will get a big chest. Let's see. I think that is probably 3 big chests. Because I don't think we did Skullwoods, right? We didn't have that key yet.
Right, no Skullwoods, no Eastern, at least for Jem, but GFE of course really got it. He got 3 bombs out of it.
Yeah, so this is going to be the 3rd, because Jem has Hera and Thieves' Town.
Oh no, GFE. he forgot Frederick. He got the key, I think, to Spyro Castle. Yeah, it's fine. I'm sorry, Frederick. You will have earned your sacrifice today. Yeah, because I think in this case, so Jem definitely did not do Dark Cross, and of course being Key Sanity, there is going to be something here, so it's going to be very minor time loss, of course, for GFE. He does have to kind of go back and basically get this key, and let's see what it's going to be. As soon as we hook over, it is just 3 bombs. Jem, meanwhile, trying to hammer Yump over. That is 1 big key. It's actually more heart pieces, so he has at least 2. Only 1 or 2 more, I think, that he can get his 11th heart, and then basically knock out that goal. Ooh, a bottle of Bloom Potion is actually really good.
Getting closer to the 3 different color potions.
Was that 11? One more heart piece.
Yeah, so Jem looks like he's going to be clearing up Eastern here. He'll get his 4th big chest. He'll get his 4th crystal too.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah. I guess we're getting closer and closer to that open GT big chest. The GT big key in Fat Keys, I believe, is still it's somewhere in GT. It's not out in the wild anywhere. That being said, though, like if it's in the basement, you might need a couple GT small keys in order to go get there. So I think they were probably still fine. I think I saw at least 1 GT small out there. So
we see GFE's gonna go clean up Hera. He'll get his Thieves' Town big here. But for the most part, he's coming here looking for items. Deciding to do this, cleaning this up before Swamp. I mean, nobody really likes Swamp, but at the same time, it's a pretty dense place, especially in Q-Sanity.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay, Gem's saying, nah, I don't really feel like doing much more here. Just wanted to get
I
the
guess
chest
he
and get
does.
on out of here.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's this is bingo routing, right? you gotta maximize your investments now. Looks like Gem is maybe not interested in at least going for the GT big chest goal. I mean, sounds like maybe if he ultimately has to go do that goal, he will just go back and beat Eastern, and he will just take the time loss.
We also don't necessarily know what 5 and 6 are.
Also, excellent point.
I
Oh,
honestly don't even
yeah.
know if we've seen if we have either one on either side.
This is the curse of no quick swap. We actually do not have any menus or anything, so we can't actually even take a peek as to like their inventory as to if 5 and 6 are actually marked out. I guess like the we can actually just go into the bomb shop, and then if the big bomb is there, great. If not, I guess we're gonna go talk to somebody.
Not a huge deal, right? But it is the type of thing where, for all you know, like right now they can complete a goal if they just go to the bomb shop, right?
True. Yeah.
It's not even that bad because since they already beat that guy and they have the mirror, it's even pretty quick.
Oh, this is kind of interesting. So Jen actually has the he pulled out the mirror. He also did menu, and I meant to go look at his things.
Oh, is this it?
Oh, good thinking on good memory on Gem's part, man. Normally when you see heart piece on library, you're just like, let me just mark that right off my bingo board or my tracker.
Yeah, that's great. Good thinking.
Oh, that is a really good thing to be able to try and get off that goal. Meanwhile, the GFE, interesting enough, has Desert Palace access with that book and Spike Cave. So, and
really
I think
get.
we found the.
That's a really good get, and yeah, I know Gem has both keys. Was one of them in back at these now?
Maybe that was the big key in. Yeah, that was the big key in the Thiestown big chest. Correct. Yeah.
So maybe, that's why GFE was not rushing for that. Instead, he's going for the tablet. Oh, well,
Yeah,
he's going there
looks like
because you get a goal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely do that first. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
Gem has had a slight lead the entire time. The GFE has been right on his tail.
That's right, his coattails, so to speak. It's gonna be very interesting though. So like, what else in this case have we done? So what other goals are there? We have GFE has a start on the open 4 small key doors in Skullwoods because he has the small key from Zora, which I still am not sure when Gem is gonna actually go after that. Let's see. I think Jan has a has a more of advantage for getting the 6 big chests because he has the pod big chest open. I guess there is always the farm a bunch of money to go max out your arrow capacity upgrades.
True.
But otherwise, man, some of these.
And there's
there are the mids. Gem's out. He says that is enough for me.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You could maybe do the Stealthless Skull if you can get into Meyer or Tororak, right?
True. Yeah, we have 1 medallion. Yeah, looks like Gem is immediately beelining for a potential Meyer entry. We can also go into Ice Palace, correct?
Yeah.
But I guess maybe you want to save that for. We can't actually get into Meyer. Yeah, so maybe you want to save that for a couple. You have a couple more keys to that dungeon. Ongi also correctly pointing out that nice big key to Meyer. But this is also Gem's Desert Palace access as well.
Yeah. But that's also 6 chests if he does Meyer and Desert here.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Yeah, because Gem went to. Oh yeah, that's great news for Gem. So I definitely understand then why he wants to go. Yeah, so going into Meyer first makes a lot of sense because he can get the birding skull That is definitely a thing that he can do. And then he can also go straight, basically turn straight back around and get the Desert Battle's big
I
chest.
fully expect this to be burning a skull, getting the big chest, and getting out. Like maybe a chest or two that's like in the same room he's in, but like we're skipping like half.
Yeah, that's right. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, so if you're Gem, you have basically 2 more goals. You think, hopefully, you're not gonna get sniped on. Like, what are the remaining goals? I guess you want to go and try for. Pyramid Fairy, money, Ice Palace for that tongue thing.
Yeah, it is tough. I mean, the tongue. I think the tongue is definitely one. You know, I don't know. I don't remember seeing Ice Small Keys, so that one's. I don't think that's on the table yet. Obviously, the shovel. You just need the shovel to show up. And
yeah, you just need the shovel. Ooh, well, that's a very convenient 300 rupees here in Spike Chest. So if that's their only contribution, I mean, maxing out bomb capacitors, so, like, certainly yes, money. To just take the time to farm the money is non-trivial, but also like just to buy the upgrades is also kind of non-trivial too. You gotta run in and run out. It's gonna be a lot. Alright, there is the floating skull bush. Stealing the key. We're gonna go check, I guess, lobby chest, and then we're gonna go get the big key or big chest.
You got that on the way in. So
okay. Oh, perfect. Okay.
Maybe we're still doing a little bit more here. Interesting.
Oh, maybe he wants the bridge chest. Did he do that?
Maybe he just wants to. Yeah, he didn't get the bridge chest yet. Maybe he wants the map chest for some reason.
Maybe he wants the map chest. Yeah, we're figuring this out little by little. Hey, look, it's the map chest. It has the map to Meyer. How convenient.
Interesting.
Alright, GFE is now going to take down Blind. So he's right. I think he also just got the Desert Palace big key. And man, so if you're in GFE's shoes, you just saw your opponent burn the skull, which means that you probably found myths. Like they probably found myths somewhere, right? So then, what would you go and try and do?
It's a really tough spot, right? Because he knows he's behind as far as like this critical. Oh, and that's a 3rd bottle.
Oh my god, that's so good for Gem. Yeah, because I think he can just go to the potion shop, right, and buy 3 bottles. Like, he just does some shopping. It's so.
Yep.
So how many goals is that for?
Check here. How many goals? He'll be at 11 if he gets the bottles.
Alright, well, looks like he's gonna go. Well, so he does have 3 bottles now, and you kind of saw him cycling. He already has a blue potion from Pod. He just let go of the gold bee, and I think he's gonna make a trip over to the potion shop.
You probably know better than I do, but how much money do you need to max out the capacity?
That's also a good question. I actually do not know.
I mean,
every time it's 100. I think the last one is 200, and it's 7, so maybe 900.
We need 60, 120, so we need 180 rupees for the 2 potions he's missing. And so he can, man, he's really close to being able to do that and then just hopping into ice and pulling a tongue and finishing.
Oh, yeah. Well, he might just be going ice then, if that's the case. Like, some 40 is not enough.
I mean, he could just be maybe hoping that he finds another 300 in ice if he goes and pulls a tongue. Who knows?
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point too. Great. So we actually don't have Samaria. So we're gonna just go through Ice Palace the old-fashioned way. So I guess getting to the tongue is actually kind of slow, right? Because it's all the way on the right side of ice.
Definitely is pretty slow. So GFE coming through the portal here. I don't know what he's planning on. Coming out through the portal this way is graveyard ledge, I guess. That's.
Oh yeah.
I think he feels a desperation right now.
Yeah. Because in this case, like once you kind of see a bunch of squares kind of light up, and you think that in this case your opponents had myths, and they were just in the first half of Swamp, which did yeah decide to leave early after he got those myths. But GFE's probably just trying to search in this case for where those myths are.
Yeah, these graveyard ledge. Not bad checks by any means, but you know, it's just not gonna work out.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think what item GFE can find in these that would at least slow down the get him another maybe square or two, because it really doesn't seem like he's going to be able to, like, he can find a shovel here. That could get him another square, but in terms of all these other ones though, I'm not sure. Oh, looks like we apparently have both ice small keys. So cool. We can actually open all 6 doors.
So Jem is just finishing here. Um, he is at 11 goals. He just needs to open every door and hold his tongue, and he will be at 50.
Yeah, you actually
So
see this
unless
case.
like
Oh no.
you have like a console crash or something, I think
Oh
Jem
no.
is
Oh no.
pretty well ahead.
It's actually pretty tense this whole time, and actually, GFE has actually had quite the. I mean, in the early game, all through Light World, I think GFE actually had the edge. Gem went to Eastern Palace. At least initially, didn't really have much productivity in there, and GFE was the first one to get the hook shot. He was first one to get the pyramid to get the moon pearl off the pyramid. But I think, as you mentioned, maybe like GFE, I think could have been the first one to Aga as well if he decided to maybe delay the back of escape, or like no, the front of escape, when he made a detour to go do that instead of Aga.
And the other thing is he could have he was had the access to swamp first, so he really
He did.
could have
Oh
gotten
yeah,
it
that's it.
first, but he opted to do different things.
He was actually very close to Swamp too, right? Because the Swamp was on Stumpy. He had the flippers. He had the mirror. I think I want to say. He had the mirror.
He
by
didn't
then.
have the mirror. Yeah,
Oh,
he had
okay.
the mirror
Okay.
later, but he then opted to do some other things first. So, yeah, I mean that's probably like, if you had to pick one pivotal decision, it would be that as soon as Gem got flippers, he came to Swamp. Whereas as soon as GFE got access to Swamp, he prioritized other things.
No, that's a good point. You can see that Gem, yeah. As you mentioned, Gem's already at 12 goals. He is just gonna literally finish by opening up the last door. You guys should see in this case that he's gonna skip iced tea.
So we got 2 doors. We got the one that he'll have to drop down, unlock the door to the right, and then go up the stairs and then turn back around and unlock that. Right up these stairs.
Yeah, so it'll be soon in this case to go. Yeah. All right. Well, that looks like it is GG's for Gem. All 13 goals, right? So congratulations. Nice and sweet for Gem. Just over the hour mark. Say probably not necessarily like one of the fastest ones, but it's certainly quite good, in terms of finish times. And you can see in this case, it looks like GFE has decided to stop playing as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much point in continuing when your goal was never to beat the seed, right? Your goal is to beat the bingo board, and the bingo board is done. It's just,
That's right.
So.
Yeah, this was a fun time. Obviously, certainly things looked very favorable for Gem in the mid to late game. Certainly once in this case, as you mentioned before, the kind of the pivotal moment in Dark World for mid game was when Gem ended up getting the mitts, and then just all the goals just kind of cascaded because there were so many goals locked behind the mitts. Speaking of though, looks like we are joined here by Game 1's winner, Gem, and GFE. GG's, guys.
Hey, GG's.
GG's.
GG's. Maybe Jem, if you're trying to say something, we cannot hear you.
How about now? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there we
That's
go.
great. Yeah, GG's.
GG's, CFE.
Hey, GG's, those mitts.
Yeah.
I mean, in this mode, if you know your opponent's in one place, you're probably going somewhere else. And I was almost certain Jim would be in Swamp, so I decided to go to Thieves.
So GFE, you did have the access to Swamp first, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was doing at the time. I got mirror. I forgot what I was doing. I had something in mind that I was going to do. I can't remember at this point. At least Wonderfall Fairy was nice to me.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh, is that where you got your B?
Yeah.
Ah,
I
that's
was like,
nice, yeah.
I'm just gonna YOLO the waterfall fairy. I didn't even have flippers, so I had to fake flipper back over there.
Nice.
I'm assuming there were 2 bottles in swamp or mire area also.
No, one was in the back of pod and one was
Okay.
Desert chest.
that's a big chest. Okay. That was a good B, by the way. I kind of thought that's maybe where you got it from because you also had the book.
No, I went to the 1 key pod and then I did not choose to do slow pod. I didn't have big key anyway at the time, but the book was in Spike Cave.
Oh, I see.
That was actually a really cool library play, Jump, to get your last heart piece.
Thank
Like,
you.
yeah, like we were actually wondering. Well, at least I personally was wondering. I'm like, what the heck are you doing over here? I mean, I guess you were doing digging, but then you were mirroring. I'm like, what is he doing? He had one more heart piece after the back of pod in order to get his 11th heart.
I had that in the back of my mind, but I wasn't on 10 yet, so it was kind of where I would have gone after the fact.
You actually had a lead. I would say all of Light World, basically up through probably like mid game GFE, because you got to you got to the hookshot first with Magina, and then you got the Dead Rock stuff, you got all the mountain stuff. I think it looked very very close. I think you would have actually made it to Aga first because turns out so Jem didn't get the hookshot right. So he went to Eastern instead, and he did the front of escape to go get his fire rod, and then after that he basically just
Did Aga.
did Aga, right? But then you were almost screen for screen, like right next to him, going to Aga, but you had the lamp. But then you turned around and did the front of escape, and I think that was like
Yeah.
that was the difference.
Uh, I felt like skipping escape, and then I was like, nah. If I'm first to hook, he may not go red for a while. Maybe he's stuck in Eastern. I probably have time to do this. Clearly, I didn't. At least I realized about a third of the way there that I couldn't get the catfish. So.
Oh, good. Aga's thinking time.
I felt
Yeah.
so stupid about the Moonfall because I just saved and quit from the pyramids.
Yeah, we were actually kind of wondering.
Really?
I'm like, that was such a position. Dude, literally, he defeated Aga and he saved and quit and went to Lumberjack. And I was like, we were like, oh well, maybe he doesn't care about the Pearl on Pyramid. Yeah, because Korik was actually saying earlier too, like he didn't have the hook shot, right? There was tons, and he knew you had the hook shot because you already got the
Right,
hook shot.
exactly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So then he's like, okay, well, there are a bunch of stuff locked behind the hook shot, like in the mountain. Maybe the Pearl is there, which I think is also very reasonable to think.
Yes, I think that
Yeah.
was what was on my mind because I knew the hookshot was a diagonal. That was the only spot that was left. And
Yeah,
then I
I
figured,
mean,
okay, lamp and probably Moonfall are just over there, but it turns out it wasn't.
I was not expecting Pearl. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping maybe Jim skipped Spiral Cave, but I guess that didn't work out either.
Yeah, at
Jem
that
was-
point it wasn't gonna
yeah.
happen because I was looking
Yeah,
for
it makes sense for you at the point you were at.
Yeah, it was certainly very, very close, up pretty much until the point where I guess it was kind of like first emits in this case, which was in Swamp. Yeah, they kept basically, that's just opened up everything else
Yeah.
for the rest of the goals. So
I kept expecting him to get the Ice Palace goals sooner. And when I saw Tongue Statue, I was like, okay, now I just wait till however long it takes for him to finish that. Like I ain't got a chance at this point. And I would have at one point. Like I was like, maybe I need to go buy upgrades just to block that, but I had no money and I wasn't gonna play archery game for like 50 years for
this
the
is the
upgrade
curse
fairy.
of Zora.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to see what the fish had, and the fish had something useful if you ever found another skull small.
Is that what it was? Yeah, I haven't found a single one.
Yeah, I got one there, and the second one just never showed. I was a little surprised when I saw the 3 crystal goal at the point you got to. I didn't know if you were making skips or what, but which 3 was it? I'm assuming Eastern Hera,
Era.
skull.
Hera, Thieves Tongue and Skull.
Oh, thieves. Okay, yeah. So, because when you got hammer, you went to Hera. Yeah,
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
I
for
might
me, it
should
makes sense
have,
to just
but I
go to
chose
Hera
to
at that
leave.
point.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch your start though. Those drop downs. Dude rushing them pretty fast.
He didn't
I
even
still,
get secret passage. He just got on home
yeah.
left.
See, I do my checks. I do my checks because I don't want to come back for him. I thought he might have like done it a little faster that way.
It's the bingo routing.
Yeah.
You
So,
gotta route more degenerately.
yeah, definitely. Oh,
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was a really fun game one. Nice. I mean, just got rid of the R remark, so pretty glad it didn't like drag on for 2 hours in some cases.
yeah. I
There's a
mean,
game.
if it got down to the head or GT big chess, they could be here for another 45 minutes. Who knows? Uh,
All right, so game one, sorry, game two, excuse me, is tomorrow afternoon at 3. Is that right?
that's correct.
Yep.
Well,
We
best
dodged
of luck.
we dodged apples for game one. We'll see if we can dodge them again.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Okay, I will eat an apple because you guys did not eat any apples, so I will have to make up the slack for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. We will see you. Bye!